All right, now let's continue. So here, let's create this method. So it's a future void. Yeah, like that. So, okay, it has created a lot of things here, but let's see. I don't trust these. So let's remove all of this, then create our own methods. Okay, great. So here, first of all, let's start the chat session. Okay, start the chat session. Okay, so here we are going to start this chat session, and then let's see, only send history if it's text only. Okay, because we don't want to add history if it's an image message. It doesn't take history. Okay, the image message that just takes the image that you have given it, and then it will answer you. If it's a text message, it can go with the history of the message and then continue from there. Okay, so here we're going to say final chat session is going to equal to model with a null check dot start chat. So this is coming from our Gemini mode or Gemini. Okay, Gemini package. Okay, now once we start the chat here, let's close it. So here it takes a history. Okay, so history, now we need to check if this history which is coming is empty. Okay, so we need to check if history dot is empty, or we need to do like that, or is not text only. Okay, so if history is empty or is not text only, we won't put any history, we'll send now. Else we are going to put the history there. Okay, so this is how we're going to start our chat session every time. Okay, now after that we need to say get content. Okay, content that we are going to send to the model. Okay, now let's create this method to get content down here. Okay, so here let's have a future void. Okay, so here we're going to return not void, we have to return the content. So get content. Okay, so here we need to require, okay, let's remove that. We are going to require a message, and then let's also require the bool, which is text only, like that. And then yeah, that's it. This is going to be asynchronous. Then we can create our method to get content here. All right, so let's get started. So this is also a string. Let's just specify here. Okay, so here, what first thing we are going to check is text only. Okay, so if is text only, we need to do what we need to do here. Okay, so okay, now let's check here. If it's text only, there's nothing else to do. We're just going to return the content of a message. Okay, we don't need the row or anything. So here we're just going to return content dot text, and then we are just going to return that message. Okay, if it's text only, we're just going to send that message. Now if there's images, that's where we need to do some things here. Okay, so here, so let me just put comments. Generate text from text only input. Okay, input like that. And then here let's put a comment like that, generate text from image input. So it's not going to be easy like that, so let's remove it. First of all, let's create image futures. Okay, so this is going to be final image futures, which is going to be images list like that. And then we need to add a now check dot map. So here let's name this as image file, and then right over here we're going to get that image file dot read as bytes. Okay, we're going to read that as bytes, and then dot to list like that. And then to just to remove the errors and everything bigger, we're going to say growable dot force. Okay, so this is just to avoid the unnecessary resizing this. Okay, so now we have the image futures like that, and then next we need to create the image bytes. Okay, so here let's have the final image bytes. It's going to await future dot wait, and then here we need to wait for image futures. Okay, let's close it out, and then we need to add a now check here. Okay, so these are image bytes, and then right after we have done that, now we just need to wait for the response. Okay, so what we're gonna do is say final prompt is equal to text part. So here in the text part, we are going to put the message, then that's it. And then now let's get the images. So final image parts is going to be image bytes. So here let's just watch it carefully. So it's going to be image byte dot map dot bytes. So here instead of this we need to specify how we're going to get it. Okay, so let's remove this. Here it needs to come from data part like that, and then here it's going to be image slash jpg like that. And then here for the bytes, so here it needs to be unit uint8 list like that. Okay, this has to be unit. Okay, unit. Okay, why am I getting that? Let me turn on my numpad. Okay, it's like that. It's a unit8 list dot from list. Okay, from list, and then we need to create it like that. So what's the problem here? Let's see. I need to import that. Okay, and then from the list here, now we need to call our bytes. Okay, bytes like that. And then after that we are going to put it to list. Okay, now after we do that, we just need to return our content, which is going to have a prompt and a list of image parts. Okay, great. So this is how we get our content. Okay, now we need to go back here and then set it. So let's say final content is equals to get. So let's await until everything happens and then get content like that. Let's close it out like that, and then let's just put commas here. All right, so now we've got the content as well. Next is to get the model message. Okay, so remember here we have this user message. Okay, now we need to create the model message. Okay, which is the assistant message. Okay, assistant message. Okay, so here is going to be final assistant message is going to equal to, so we're just going to get the user message and then dot copy with, we'll change what we want to change here. Okay, so let's close this, and then inside here what we want to change, so the message ID is also going to be empty. So the message ID also, let's not change it here. What we want to change is the message. Okay, and the row. Okay, so the row is going to be the assistant, and then the message instead of so right now the message is going to be empty. Okay, let's just get the string buffer like that, because we haven't yet written any message here for the assistant. Okay, so the message ID is also, if we check here, even here the message ID is empty, so even here is going to be empty. So what we are just going to change is the row here. Okay, and then even this string buffer, we are going to change it now to empty, because the user has sent a message, and then we're going to have the time that this message has showed. Okay, great. So once we have this, we are going to do the same. Okay, add this message to in-chat messages. So we're going to add it, and then we're going again to notify the changes. So now we've added the user message and then the model message, but it's empty, but it's there because we want to show the loading. Okay, so now we have that, and then what we do next now is to come to start now this chat session. Okay, so right after here, down here, we can do that chat session. Okay, now here what we want to do is exactly this. It has said it again. Okay, so instead of writing the same message, let's do wait for streamed response. Okay, let's just say wait for streamed response, and then here we just need to call chat session dot send message stream, this one. Okay, now on the message here we've got the content, which is this. Okay, so let's get the content, and then right after we get the content, we need to say async map, and then here for the event, let's bring it down here, and then let's create these events. Okay, so first of all here we need to return the event. Okay, and then after here we need to listen, so dot listen, and then first let's close it here, and then if we come down inside the events here, now this is when we are going to listen for the response and then write to this string buffer. Okay, so here what we're going to do is in chat, I'm going to get in chat messages dot first. Okay, so first where element, and then here we're going to get that element, which is element dot message ID. We are going to get first. Okay, what we are going to do here, we're going to get that message ID where this message that has the thing of sorry, that has the row of the assistant. Okay, so we're going to get element dot where row. So okay, where row is equals to assistant. Okay, where row is equal to assistant. All right, and then after we get that row, we are going to go to the message, and then we're going to write the event.text. That's how we're going to write to that, to this message. Okay, this where the row is equals to assistant. All right, so that's how we are going to write, and then while we are writing, we are just going to notify the changes. Okay, so to strengthen this as well, what we need to do is here, let's also add the message ID. Okay, message ID, let's add it to as an empty string. Okay, as an empty string. Okay, because the previous messages that is going to be in this chat, they are going to have this is not going to be empty. But if we are sending a new message, first we'll give it an empty ID. Okay, so this empty ID, let's also use it here just to make sure that we are putting on this last message. So here we can also add another check, which is element dot message ID is equals to assistant message is equals to that this assistant message. Okay, dot message ID. All right, and then let's put and. Okay, so we're going to put these two checks just to make sure that we are writing on this newly built message. Okay, because the messages before this will have the ID. So this is just making sure that the message that we are putting here is writing on this new one. All right, so let's minimize that, and then we are going to write to that, and then while we are writing, we are going to notify the changes. Okay, so after that, here we can now also call the ondone. So ondone is called here. We can put a space here, then put the comma, and then let's call the ondone method here. So let's create it like that, and then down here, when it is done, we want to save the message to our database. So let's click tab. So here on done, let's do save message to Hive database. Okay, Hive DB, if it is done. Okay, so also here after we save that, we need to set loading to false. Okay, which means we are finished loading. Then after on done here, we can also now get on error. To remove that dot on error, and then we can undo the error here, which is so here it's a error. Let's do error, and then what do we have here? It's a stack trace. So stack trace, and then we can have the error down there. Okay, so even on error here, we're going to set loading to false. So set loading to false. We can close that, and then let's copy that, and then here also let's save that. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So here we need to create a method to save the message to DB, and then that's it. So now we have created this. So this is writing a message. I think we are ready to go ahead and give it a try. Okay, because we've already set it here. It's reading a message from the in-chat messages. So what we're gonna do is let's just load it once more. All right, the application has started. Let's see if we go to the chats here. Okay, we can give it a try. I'm just too quick. So one thing we've forgotten is to go in the bottom chat field and then call our send message. Okay, we need to call this method. Okay, so let's go in the bottom chat field and then up here, let's create our method. So future void send chat message. So here let's require string message. Let's also get what maybe we can pass just the chat provider from here. So let's also require this. Require chat provider, which is going to be chat provider, and then require bool is text only. All right. So let's create this method, which is also async. We can minimize that. Then let's create this method in here. So what we're gonna do here is just wait chat provider dot send message, and then we are just gonna pass that. All right, I think that's all we need to do here for now. So we're not checking any errors, but what we can do is we can just wrap into the try catch block. Okay, so let's cut that, then paste it here, and then catch. So on error, we're just gonna log. Let me remove that. So we need to log like this. And then let's log this error message. Let's get the E. And then here on the finally, let's do the text controller dot clear. And then what else? The chat provide, let's remove the focus. Text focus dot unfocus. Okay. Like that. So I think that's it. So now here, let's do send chat message. Okay. So here we're going to do text controller. So, okay. So here before we send, let's check if text controller dot is not empty. So here we need to say dot text. Okay. That's when we're gonna do that. So here dot text. So this is obviously going to come from the widget, the chat provider. So this is going to be widget.chatProvider. So for now here, let's send true. Okay, we still haven't made the method to check if we have images. Okay, so let's just send like that. And then yeah, so we can copy this, and then where did we put another method? So we had on submitted somewhere, this one. Okay, so let's paste that. So here we need to check if value dot is not empty. Okay, now let's bring this up and give it a try. Let's run it again. All right, let's go to the charts and then let's bring up the log. We might have an error. So let's send out a space message, hello. So we have our message, and then we are waiting for the model to respond. Okay, so there is our response from our model. Great, we are getting the messages correctly. Okay, so the next thing to do is to come in the chat screen and then to build this, okay, so that we can show this properly. If we come back, we still have that, but also we haven't yet made the history. Okay, so thank you guys. Let's continue in the next video.